Norma is a 73-year-old retired cleaner who lives alone. She's divorced from Bill and estranged from her daughter Christine. Norma has late-onset schizophrenia and mild cognitive impairment, predominantly with memory. Her medical history includes diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart failure. Although she takes antipsychotic medication regularly, Norma has residual delusions about Bill breaking into her home and interfering with her affairs. The delusions are less prominent when she is well and do not affect her routine or function. Norma has known Mary, her case manager from the mental health service, for 6 months. As her mental state has been relatively stable, Mary recently raised advanced care planning as something she could help her with. Norma expressed interest in learning more about it and is meeting Mary at the health centre to discuss this today.
It's good to see you today, Norma. Thanks for coming into the centre.
Oh, that's all right. You telephoned me the other day because you want to know what I might want if ever I get very sick. Is that right?
That's right. I was going to talk to you about making an advanced care directive.
Oh, I don't know. What is it?
Well, it's about letting us know what you want for your future care if you become very sick.
But what sort of care?
Well, we encourage everyone to think about the types of treatments and care that they want in the future if they become very unwell. And like if you got very sick and you weren't able to tell us what sort of treatments that you would like to receive or avoid, this is a record of that. And it also applies towards the end of life when there's no chance of recovering.
This all sounds very grim, but why do I need to do it? I'm not dying yet.
You're not. But I know that you've been to hospital when your heart failure and your diabetes have played up, and also when your worries about Bill have been really bad. An advanced care directive is meant to help people record their wishes about the treatments that they want when they're very sick.
Oh, I don't know. I'm still not very sure about it. But I guess I'm happy to go ahead with it if you think it's important. I'm not getting any younger.
Well, it's not too complicated. This is a booklet about an advanced care directive. And the first half is information about advanced care directives, which you can read through yourself. And then there's a form that we can go through together. And if you get very unwell in the future and you're not able to make choices about your care, your doctors can use this form to see what kind of treatment that you would prefer and how they can respect your wishes.
What sort of treatments?
Well, things like CPR, resuscitation. It'd be good to know if you want this treatment, Norma.
I've seen CPR on television. I know all about it and I don't want it.
Well, it's a good starting point. What if you stopped breathing or your heart stopped? Would you want to be resuscitated through CPR?
Probably not. I don't like that idea.
Okay, I'll tick this box here that says that you wouldn't want CPR. And what are your thoughts about getting treatment in an intensive care unit if you become very unwell?
I haven't really thought about that before. I don't know.
It's good to have a think about it, Norma, and talk it over with people that you trust.
I don't talk about my health with other people, so I don't see why I should.
I understand, but I reckon you'd want to have a say in your own health care, wouldn't you?
Oh, I suppose so. I do trust you. So, yes, let's go ahead.
And this form also goes into detail about whether you'd like to have treatments like dialysis if your kidneys fail, or a machine to help with your breathing, especially if the doctors don't think that you're going to recover, Norma. And these are the sorts of decisions we should think about ahead of time, before they happen.
But why does it matter? Doctors would just look after me and do the best they could at the time, wouldn't they? Why do they want my opinion?
Your opinion matters a lot. Recording your wishes is important, and much better than someone else guessing what you would want. And it's important to guide your future decisions. The doctors will respect your wishes.
Oh, this is all very grim.
I understand. But it's good to have this conversation, Norma, when you're well, and you can be a part of it.
So, do you mean the doctors would take notice of it if I was really sick? I suppose it's good if they would.
Yeah. It's a legal document that you'll need to sign and date, and you get to keep a copy of it. And if you record your wishes now, this document will be read by your future doctors if you ever become unwell, and they'll need to respect your instructions because we'd know that you'd made it when you were well.
Who else gets a copy?
You would keep a copy, and you can also give a copy to your friends, your family, or your GP if you want.
Well, I don't want Bill to get a copy.
It's your choice who gets a copy, Norma.
Can't have him getting his hands on my paperwork.
Would you be more comfortable just giving a copy to your GP then?
Yeah, that's okay.
And would you like to keep a copy of the document too?
I don't know, because what if Bill steals it and finds out what I'm saying? He could do me in, you know.
Well, how about I put it in this medical file and scan a copy into your electronic medical record. And that way you don't have to keep a copy at home.
That's a good idea.
Are there any friends or family that you'd like to give a copy to? Maybe Eileen or your daughter Christine?
Well, certainly not Christine. I haven't seen her for years and I don't trust her anyway. But Eileen, maybe. That might be a good idea.
Well, you don't have to decide right now. You can think about it and let me know.
One thing, how much is all this going to cost? I don't want it to be expensive.
It doesn't cost you anything, Norma. It's a legal document, but we don't need any lawyers involved.
Oh, that's good to know, because Bill's lawyer is always looking into my business, you know.
Now, I just want to double check. You make all your own decisions, don't you, Norma?
Yes, I do. Bill tries to meddle in my affairs, but I don't let him. I have a system that works. When I was in hospital, they told me my memory wasn't good anymore, but actually I know they're wrong. I do have a good memory, and I look after myself, and I pay all my bills.
Okay, so coming back to this form, would you want to make your own decisions about options for medical treatment if you become sick in the future?
I don't want other people to make decisions for me, and I don't want to be kept just alive on a kidney or heart machine. If I'm not going to get any better, why?
Okay, that's good to know. Let's initial these boxes here so that we know that these treatments are not acceptable to you.
Okay, that's all right.
And this section here is about your values and things that are important to you at the end of life. And it's like a guide to how you think that certain situations might happen, like whether you prefer to be cared for in hospital or at home.
Well, I don't want to go into a nursing home.
Okay, I'll write that down here in this box. And this page covers your views on a few statements. And it might be a good idea for you to have a think about them. And I can give you a blank copy to take home with you.
That would be a good idea, because I don't want Bill to read my answers.
And maybe we can meet again next week and we can complete this form together.
Well, we could.
Do you want me to go through the different sections of the form so you have a better idea of it?
Well, that might be a good idea, but just the short version, please.
So this form is from Health, but other places use something similar. And in the beginning, there's an information section. And then the form actually has 5 sections. And the first section is for your personal details. And then the second section are about your values and beliefs about dying. And you can write statements that are important to you here in this large box. The third section is about medical care, and this means treatments that you might or might not want if you become very unwell. And we've discussed some of these already, like CPR and intensive care. And then the fourth section is about organ donation. And then the last section is where you sign the form, and you need a witness. So maybe I can sign as your witness, and we can fill out the form together.
Okay, that should be all right.
Okay, so we can start filling out the form together next week, but we don't have to do it all at once, and we can do it slowly.
But what if Bill or Christine get hold of my form and try to change it? Bill steals from me, you know.
Nobody can change your form, Norma. This is a legally binding document. And I think maybe you could discuss this advance care directive with Eileen, because she's listed as a contact person, and if you ever end up in hospital, they'll probably give Eileen a call. And it would be good for her to know your wishes and that you've completed this form.
Well, I guess I could tell her all about it when I see her on Sunday.
Yeah. And do you see your GP regularly too?
Yes, I do. He's all right. He's good to me.
Could you bring this up with him too?
Yes.
This has been a big discussion today, Norma, and I've given you lots of information. The next time we meet, maybe you could bring Eileen with you.
That might be a good idea. I don't want to forget anything. And I'd rather not fill this form in at home because of nosy Bill.
All right, Norma. Do you have any other questions?
Well, what if I change my mind about anything?
That's a good question. You can change your mind at any time. You just fill out a new form, make sure your GP gets an updated copy, and we can change your copy on your hospital record too.
Okay, thank you, Mary.
Okay. What about we meet again next Tuesday?